This is Helldivers 2. We're here on Xbox Series X. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. Helldivers has arrived on Xbox. I didn't think it was going to happen, but alas, here we are, enjoying the full scope, the action, and the intensity of Helldivers 2 on Xbox. Which is kind of awesome. It's a cooperative focused experience where you are helldiving in as a group of Super Earth soldiers and patriots here to save the day and to fight for the citizens against all of the monstrous bugs, Illuminati, and robot monsters, or anything else that might come your way as you aim to do what it takes to save the day. And you'll do so with a variety of cool weapons, tools, and action that you can enjoy as you battle along to be a hero. Which is, thrilling. You go on these, kind of open world environments across a bunch of different random planets with different environmental conditions and lighting and time of day and monstrous enemies and objectives, and you have side objectives you can do, and there's vehicle things and mech stuff, and you can run on foot and get destroyed and blasted and blown up. I played a fair bit of this on the PlayStation side of things when it kind of came out, and they've added a lot of content, a lot of maps, a lot of planets. There's a lot of stuff in this game, which, it kind of continues to grow too. And, yeah, kind of an interesting action there. Why is this not reloaded? There we go. And it's really what you make of it, right? So, it definitely has some interesting action and gameplay mechanics. It's genuinely interesting. I mean, it's Helldivers, it's kind of something I think a lot of people know or care about and they love, and it's fun, and it's got that sort of repetitive loop that you might enjoy as you play with a bunch of randoms in quick play with varying difficulty levels, or maybe with your buddies that you invite, and you can generate a room code and go together and fight, and yeah, it's just a great time, honestly. It's a lot of fun. It's easygoing action. There's 2 graphical modes here for Series X. It seems like we're basically getting an equivalent line with what we saw on the base PlayStation. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Obviously, we've got the quality mode going on right now. We'll switch to the performance in a bit, but kind of wanted you to get a feel for both of these and what they have to offer. But yeah, no, this game has changed a lot from when I first covered it, and it was oh, there's not a lot of planets and stuff, and now they've definitely added a lot. They've added cool things like mechs and vehicles that you can drive along in, and it's really quite fun, and you reinforce your squad, and you kind of call in stratagems and stuff, and you fight, and stratagems, that's kind of hilarious. And then you got objectives that you can kind of do or take your time on, and it's, it's quite expansive, and then you might get a level where there's citizens in a city, and it's just a massive variety of different scenarios and setups where you're coming in and you are striking for the influence of what's right for humanity of Super Earth against these monsters. I got stepped on by the mech. Okay, well that's depressing. Anyway, so the quality mode, it looks like it's a similar situation where it's 1720p at 30 FPS. There's HDR support, there's spatial sound, there's Dolby Atmos. I mean, I wouldn't really recommend playing an action-packed shooter game at 30 FPS, but you can. It does seem like there are some slight drops, but for the most part it's pretty steady. You can at any point go to the options, go to visuals, and turn on performance monitor, which you see on the screen, lots of different options there. But we're going to turn to performance mode, and we're going to apply that. There's also anti-aliasing on or off, kind of on by default. And then it applies that, and you're going to see that we go up to 60 FPS. The fluidity is increased quite a bit, which is awesome. I get to come back in. I'm kind of burning through our lives, but we've got lots of lives on this difficulty. It's no big deal. So it is quite a blurry sort of situation, so it does look like we're getting 1080p. And there are frame rate drops that I've noticed as well. Maybe a little bit of an odd stutter or so, but it's not too bad. I mean, when the action really gets going, there's a lot that can happen. But, for the most part, it's not bad. It seems to be pretty decent from what I've kind of seen. But, yeah, it is a painfully low resolution for this sort of a thing. But, it's nice that it's available. And it's kind of cool that we can enjoy this on Xbox. So as I was saying, like I played quite a fair bit of this on the PlayStation side of things. I'm kind of surprised I didn't really get like a cross progression thing, and I don't know if that's I didn't really get sign in or wasn't really given the option. I don't know if I just missed that, but anyways, yeah, you kind of come down here and you start Helldiving. You just ease into it. You get to unlock different like armors. You earn stuff. You can buy stuff. You work. You complete your missions, and then you extract and you fight more creatures and do more things and battle in different scenarios. And you know there might be like bug breaches, and when you're leaving, you know you might have to escape. And there's all these like side objectives that can happen, and then there's like different things you can like call in. You can be like, I need a resupply, or a machine gun, or orbital strike, or you might also unlock other additional tools you get. The more you play, the more you get access to different things. And yeah, no, it's actually like pretty expansive of a game. Like when I played it off the bat, I kind of got like bored of it pretty quickly because there wasn't much content, like maps. They kind of were trickling it out, and at this point there was like, I was looking at the star map, I'm like, there's all this stuff going on. And it's just like, it's an endless battle. Like it literally never ends. You just keep fighting, you know, you take regions, you get like a little info thing, and it's like, right back to the fight. So if you like the gameplay loop, where you are sitting there kind of like fighting over and over and over again, doing the same sort of thing, you know, this game will be great for you, right? Like it'll be something that you'll have an absolute blast playing and enjoying and experiencing. And it's just whether or not that core gameplay loop concept works for you and what you're trying to achieve and enjoy when playing this. And you know, like there's lots of personalization, there's tons of different scenarios and maps and setups. It's really quite varied. They've honestly added a lot to this game, and I keep going back to that point because it is sort of the idea that like there is that repetition. You do the same thing, but you do it in different ways. But it's kind of fun because there's a neat challenge to it, I guess you would say as well. Like you can make it harder and harder and more difficult so that your survival chances are more and more minimal. There's all these like side ventures you can get into, and then you know your mission either gets like completed or it doesn't get completed, and it's all based on like how well your team kind of works together to get the job done. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Like it really is, you know, I'd say a pretty engaging experience. It's got lots of different unique setups to it, and it's just like it's blown up so much from when I last played it, which is kind of funny because like when I played it back in the day, it was a big holdup. Was just kind of like it was fun, it was silly, it was enjoyable with people. And then, like, eventually I was just like, wow, there's not much else to do. But now it's just like, I come in here and I'm like, it's a wondrous amount of time to be awake because there's just so many new things I can interact with. Supplies for everyone. Everybody wants some supplies. Yeah, you get so many things you bring in. There's so much stuff you can do. And it's really, like, however much time you want to put into it, you can. Like, it's, like, there's no pressure, really, right? Like, you can just jump in and you can just have fun playing this. Like there's no really that you have to do anything serious, but you can be serious about it if you want. And yeah, it's differing like complexities too for like the difficulties and what you have to do it to like kind of survive and you know make your way through the scenarios. And they've got lots of fun little joke bits, or I was kind of mentioning like Super Troopers, or sorry, Starship Troopers, not Super Troopers. That would be funny, but no, Starship Troopers, where it's like that propaganda setup and everything. And you know, like, you guys are... Sorry, there's no propaganda here. We really are just the best citizens of this planet and world. And they just, like, they have fun with it. And they just do, like, silly things. And you go and do crazy battles. And there's all these epic scenarios and situations. I will say the onboarding definitely... I think it's different, actually, from what I played back in the day. It's a much slower kind of burn on getting into it, which is kind of funny considering, like... You know, I've done this, and it's like I'd like a little bit more of a challenge right off the bat, especially since I'm like replaying this elsewhere. But you know, you get what you get for this kind of stuff, right? Oh look, they're calling in the fast recon vehicle. That's always exciting. You know, we didn't even have vehicles, eh? Like when this like first came out, there wasn't even vehicles and stuff that we had access to. They added that over time, which I thought was quite a surprise when people were like, "Oh, there's vehicles," and I was like, "What?" I mean, it makes sense. Some of these maps, you're like walking along forever. Usually there's enemies that attack you while you're doing this. It seems like we're just kind of chillaxing. Like, it'd be really cool if there was any sort of enemies fighting, or usually you get attacked and you have to like survive and deal with all the threats, and it seems like our guys is kind of calling in a bunch of stuff in order to kind of kill the time, which is kind of funny. I'm sitting here, I'm just like, you know, is there anything that's gonna attack us, or I guess we're just destroying stuff for fun? Oh no, there's bugs. Okay, they're coming. All right. Alright, it's time to get out of here and extract, and that's kind of like the level design concept. You know, you go in, you fight some stuff, do some things, blow some things up, complete an objective here or there, and, you know, then you leave. What's going on with the extraction shuttle there? Everybody on the ship, let's get out of here before these monstrous bugs cause any more problems. And you know, there's the silly emotes and the weird jetpacks and the weird abilities and all this armor and everything like that. But we're gonna jump into another match in a sec here so you can see more of it in action. And thus the war wages on as we do another battle for democracy. Oh yeah, team away. It really is like a blurry resolution though. But this is similar to like, well, basically the same to what it was on PlayStation 5. Yeah, definitely a bit of a challenging, demanding game with how much stuff is going on, which is fine. Retrieve the weapon. I don't know if I can handle the might of a flamethrower. This guy's just like, we got like a guy that's like a super high level in this, and he's just like absolutely like, you know, having fun with us is what it's happening here. He must have like a buddy that he's just kind of like leveling up and grinding and stuff. A minor place of interest. Wow, that's what I'm all about. Minor places of interest. But you get to go to these like fantastical places where all these battles are happening and stuff, and the terrain is all different, and like it really does provide some interesting challenge setups and scenarios. Like it has fun. That's what it is. It's a game of just silly fun, wild action, and variety. And they just keep stacking variety on it, and it just keeps growing, and that's the main enticing point for people is to jump in and do that kind of a thing. It's I'm having some problems here, but yeah, no, it's definitely what you kind of make of it, and it's definitely like our squad obviously needs a bit more challenge, I would say, for sure. Oh yeah, Super Earth salute. Okay, well, I'm glad that worked. So where are all these creatures at in this danger zone? It's supposed to be like a high-octane zone. I crave more challenge and intensity. But the backbone is you leveling up, you becoming more powerful, you being able to have more tools to take on these creatures, but it is a very straightforward kind of gameplay setup where repetition, like in the repetition what I mentioned, is the game. And it's mostly about showing you just, you know, how it's doing. I got killed by burning. It was burning in front of me. How was I burning myself? That's hilarious. How did our teammate die? This guy's got the mech going on. Yeah, you always gotta be reviving your buddies, and you gotta keep everybody going. I wonder if I can reinforce this guy. Or is somebody else doing that? I got you, buddy. No problem. I appreciate your support. Maybe the flamethrower isn't the best way to deal with things, considering I ended up burning myself alive, which is kind of funny, but they do a really good job at just like stacking the screen with things going on. Like, it's really fascinating if you see like the original kind of Helldivers and just sort of like how it kind of evolved into this is really, really quite interesting too, because man, this is a neat game and concept, honestly. Like the scope of it, the weird things that happen, they really got like a winning formula with this setup, and it's genuinely really well loved by most people that play it, because it's just fun, easygoing sort of action. I don't know if you call it almost like a horde mode or something, but it's kind of like, you know, when Battle Royale was out, and it's just sort of like that easy thing where it's like you don't need to do a lot of setup to just kind of jump in and have some fun with a bunch of buddies. And I think that's what this game absolutely excels at, is like, yes, you can get more tools, more cool stuff, more weapons, more fun, more customization. But it's much more than that. It's really just kind of easygoing, fun, applicable times that you can have with your friends, just destroying things and creatures and having laughs and being like, for democracy, and, you know, just having a dumb fun time with it. And something that, like, you know, in a satirical sense is similar to Starship Troopers, which is funny because the Starship Troopers game is pretty cool, but this one really took all the thunder and the style for this type of thing. He just keeps stepping on me. Just keeps stepping on me. That's like the second time I keep getting stepped on. You know what? Like, it just keeps. Ugh. He just keeps stepping on me. But yeah, we get the full-scale experience here on Xbox, and that's what's exciting. It's Helldivers 2, kicking off on all calibers and all fun. And yeah, there's quite a bit to this. It's like, again though, it's from a discussion standpoint, hard to really go over things, because the core of it, there isn't much to it. You pick a spot, you drop down. I know how to switch weapons. Oh my god, this is killing me. These tooltip things. You shoot and blow up a bunch of stuff or kill a bunch of things, and then you leave. And that's kind of, that's it. That's the gameplay concept over and over and over again. Which people just cannot get enough of. I mean, it makes sense, because it's really quite entertaining. Can I just, there we go. And they do such a good job with like the atmospherics and the environment in this. Like, it is really quite smooth, honestly. Like, it runs pretty well. You can look at the top left there, and it's just like in that performance level that you're kind of expecting. As I said, they're like little slight drops here and there, but for the most part, yeah, no, it's pretty fine. Yeah, they did a good job with the support of the thing. It's really intriguing because this is such a, like, I guess you would say, monumental thing, seeing a PlayStation, you know, like first party kind of exclusive thing, like an IP they own and all that available. Like, not in a situation like the show and whatnot, but a game like this is truly a remarkable, never before experienced sort of thing. Like, it is a massive change up, and I am very curious to see if this is going to be the start of continued things like this, because, you know, it really just changes the console landscape as we know it. And yeah, it's mind-blowing to be playing here, because again, like, really when this first kind of was showcased and I was first playing it, I was like, wow, this is a really great, you know, exclusive title to have. Obviously, more Helldivers is more fun for people, but it's just like, I never really could come up with the idea as to why they would want to throw this around to other platforms. But yeah, here we are enjoying it on Xbox, and it runs well, it looks good, and maybe this is the start of further insanity in the console space, I guess. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm just kind of happy to be able to play this and showcase it off here on Xbox and dive in and give you a look at it and so you can experience what everything has to offer. I'm sorry it's all night map experiences that we're getting here, but it's, yeah, it's kind of, yeah, you get what you get for missions and scenarios and setups, and, you know, beheld to whatever the dynamic day and night and everything going on in the maps, and it just keeps it fresh though, if that is what you're craving, is these bugs. Little disappointed we didn't get to see some other factions for this one, but there are other, like, you know, things other than bugs, and there's different tiers of the bugs, and like the robots are wild, all these different mechanical monster things, and the Illuminati sort of aspect of it, and, you know, they're always evolving these factions, and there's other stuff that pops up, and the sensitivity on the range around that mech is really, it's just, yeah, I mean, I just keep getting stomped on, which is driving me a little bonkers. The friendly fire and stuff is half the charm and the hilarity of playing this. It really is. Like, it is really funny, kind of being like, oh ha, and then, you know, you shoot your buddy or blow up your buddy or something. It's good laughs to be had. So if you want good laughs, good fun, easy action, Helldivers 2 provides that. And then, yeah, there is a good little bit of progression, or at least new items and toys you get to play with to do more damage. And More stuff to personalize and customize, and you decorate your little soldier, and you go out there and you spread the good word of democracy to all these creatures, and hopefully someday they'll learn their lesson, but they never seem to do that.